Welcome to Chapter 6, Section 6, entitled Sequences and Expressions. All right, let's build some vocabulary here. A sequence is a list of numbers in this specific order. Each number in the list is called a term of that sequence. A sequence is an arithmetic sequence if each term can be found by adding the same number to the previous term. All right, so what that means, arithmetic sequence, by adding the same number to the previous term. So that means if you start with 8 and you go to 16, that's a plus 8. You go to 24, that's a plus 8. The next term is a 32, that's a plus 8. So as long as you keep adding 8 to each of these numbers, it is arithmetic. Sorry. And one thing you need to know, that arithmetic sequences, it's adding, that's right, but you're going to want to remember that the equation for the future here, the equation or expression is multiplication. It's multiply. Right? So looking at this, use words and symbols to describe the value of each term as a function of its position. Then find the value of the 10th term in the sequence. So 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7. Okay? Every single time you're adding 7 to the value of the term. And this is where the multiplication comes in. Notice that the value of each term is 7 times its position number. 1 times 7. 2 times 7. 3 times 7. 4 times 7. So the value of term in position n is 7n, because it's n times 7. It's multiplication. So once you know that, now you can find the value of the 10th term. So if we're looking for the 10th term, that's 7 times 10. We replace n with 10 and get 70. So the value of the 10th term is 70. All right, continue this process. 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9. Since this is arithmetic, it means you simply multiply each position by 9. So since we're multiplying each position by 9, my value for that term is 9n. All right, let's make a table. There are 60 seconds in a minute. Make a table and write an algebraic expression relating the number of seconds in the number of minutes. Then find how many seconds it takes for Shyla to walk to school if it takes her 9 minutes. Notice that the number of minutes times 60 gives the number of seconds. So look, 1 minute, 60 seconds. It's multiplication. Multiply this by 60, it's 120, 180, 240. Multiply n by 60, it's 60n. So the expression is 60n. All right, once we know that, we can then find how many seconds there are in any number of minutes that we want. It just so happens that we want 9 minutes, though. So that means we're replacing n with 9. So it will take 540 minutes, or I'm sorry, seconds, to walk to school. All right, let's do a check your progress. There are 24 hours in one day. So let's put the days here. Let's put the hours here. And let's make a table to find a pattern. Day number 1 was 24 hours. Day number 2, another 24 hours should be 48. Day number 3, $72. So we're looking at the pattern. We're multiplying each day by 24 hours in that day. Which means on the nth day, you take 24 and you multiply it by its position. So we now know for every n days, it's 20 times 24. So find how many hours Hayden has to finish his science project if he exactly has 6 days. So we take 6 becomes n. And it gives us that he has 144 hours to complete his project. All right, here we go. Multiple choice. The table shows the number of plants in a garden based on the number of rows. Which expression was used to find the number of plants in our rows? Well, let's look here. 1 to 4. Well, if we look here, 4 plus 3, 7 plus 3, 10 plus 3. We're adding 3 each time, which means, since it's an arithmetic, it's the position times 3. But unfortunately, you have a problem. Okay? 1 times 3 is not 4. 2 times 3 is not 7. 3 times 3 is not 10. So what you have to add now to find the expression determine the function. Notice that the values 4, 7, 10 are all increasing by 3. So the rule contains 3n. Therefore, the choices A and B can be eliminated. All right. And just like we said, the value is 3. So it can't be just C. Right? Because it can't just be the number of rows times 3. So it leaves only the choice of D. But we're going to test a few. Has a plus 1 in there, which makes sense. 1 times 3 plus 1 is 4. 2 times 3 plus 1 is 7. 2 times 3 plus 1 is 10. 4 times 3 plus 1 is 13. That's how this is set up. So we know you're right that the answer is D. All right, one more. Here's another multiple choice. Let's take a look at this. We can see 4 to 9 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. So we know we're going to be multiplying the n by 5. So my expression is 5n something, which means h and f can be erased or forgotten about. All right, but now let's look. 1 times 5 is 5. But we want it to equal 4. So what would we do to make 5 into a 4? Well, we should subtract 1. 5 times 2 should be 9. Well, it's 10 unless we subtract 1. So each of these has a subtraction of 1. My answer is G. All right, so that should give you a good idea on how to work on the check your understandings, which are on page 346, and are numbers 1 through 4.